Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, and for blessing me with this truth in these last days, seeing these prophecies unfold, and that you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true chosen people of the Most High, and none else. And I'm coming to you with this video. I'm pretty sure, you know, everybody done seen it. You know, those of us that are in the know, that's watching diligently. And yeah, it's about to go down because, you know, these tensions in the Middle East they've been going on for a long time. But it's like, well, it's been between Israel and Palestine, and you know, everybody knows that the U.S. and Israel are tight. So, you know, it was gonna eventually spill, you know, over here to the U.S. And what you see from this video right here, which is gonna, I'm gonna let it play, is that the U.S. had a airstrike. The U.S. Air Force did an airstrike and bombed Iraq. Within bombing them, they killed a top Iranian military commander. You know, I can't say his name. It's Samalani. Well, you're gonna see it in the video when they killed this man. So, you know, Iran, they are they said it's gonna be a revenge. Now, our people, while they out here having fun, while they out here, you know, getting lit, you know, going on with their everyday life, and, you know, thinking that everything is sweet. We got this going on. And how would you know if you're not watching? Because our people are not watching. You know, I have conversations with people all the time, and they tell me, "Oh, you think it's gonna be a war?" I tell them, "Yeah." They say, "Well, do you think it's gonna happen in our lifetime?" Yes, it's gonna happen in our lifetime. It's happening, you know, as we speak. And this is gonna continue to escalate. It's only gonna escalate. And it was an article that came out. I forgot the article that said the only way that Trump is gonna stay president is if he goes to war with Iran. And lo and behold, the U.S. is gonna go to war with Iran. But it's not only going to be Iran. Because once the U.S. goes to war with Iran, you know, then you're going to have other major countries get in. Like China, Russia, North Korea, you know, so on and so forth. The EU is already breaking from the United States. Everybody's going to come against America. Everybody. So what I'm gonna let this video play a little bit, and I'm gonna just come in with some scriptures.
Well, as we've been reporting, Iran is vowing revenge after U.S. drone strikes in Baghdad killed the country's top general, Qasem Soleimani. Soleimani was behind hundreds of American...
Qasem Soleimani. This is the man that was killed in the U.S. airstrikes. You know? Let me see if I can do this screen a little bit. Salakia, Israel. You know. Salakia. It says, Iran vows revenge, you know, after U.S. airstrike kills top general. And this is the man that they killed. You know, see, America is proud, man. And then I heard after they killed this man, they made jokes about it, saying that it was 1,000 pieces of him all across the Middle East. You know, so America is proud, man. America's always been proud, man. And these other nations, these other countries, they ain't playing with America no more.
American deaths and was considered a top terrorist by the United States. Thousands of American troops are now being sent to the region. That's in addition to about 700 soldiers who were deployed to Kuwait earlier this week after protesters stormed the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. CBS.
And they say that this man was planning attacks on Americans in the Middle East. You know? So that's the narrative they want to push, that this man was planning to kill, I guess, U.S. soldiers in the Middle East. But where's the proof on that, man? That's just he say, she say. You know? But ultimately, America is gonna be destroyed, man. And I'm gonna get that because America is proud. This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry. And what nations are angry? All these other nations are angry with America. North Korea, South Korea, Iran, Iraq, Russia, China, and a whole bunch of other countries, man, that America done raped, robbed, and murdered, and took and basically set up a U.S. embassy in their country, man. So the nations are angry, and thy wrath is come, because these nations, their wrath is about to come at America. And the time of the dead that they should be judged, because America is about to be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. And who is this reward to? The brothers that have been out there laboring for years on top of years, that have been bringing us out on the highways and hedges, weekend after weekend, day in, day out. The ones that who all you people would say screaming on the corners are a bunch of angry niggas. All that the prophets have been saying from old, and all of the brothers that's on the streets teaching now, we've been saying the same things. Now the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, is gonna manifest that physically. You know? And it says, and to the saints, the Israelites are the saints. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the saints. And them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth, because America has destroyed the earth. The so-called white man, Esau, Edom, has destroyed the earth in every way, shape, form, or fashion. Everywhere this man goes, he destroys, man. There's nothing good that ever comes when you see the so-called white man on your land. You know? Salakia. There's nothing that comes out good that when you see the so-called white man on your land. There's nothing good gonna come out of that. So the Most High is gonna destroy them, which destroyed the earth.
News foreign correspondent Holly Williams joins us now from Iraq. Holly, what is the latest on the ground?
Well, here in Iraq, the parliament is planning on holding an emergency session, and Iraqi politicians with close ties to Iran are calling for the roughly 5,000 US troops based here in Iraq to be ordered out of the country in protest. That's important because, remember, Iraq is a crucially important counter-terrorism base here in the Middle East for the US. Also, the US has ordered another roughly 3,000 troops to be deployed to the Middle East. The US is urging American citizens to leave Iraq, clearly in fear of...
Yeah, because they know it's going to be retaliation, man. But how you figure you going to come in somebody else's land, bomb them, and you don't think nothing going to happen to you? Because ultimately the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, is putting the spirit in all these other nations to rise up against America, man. America's been a bully for as long as I can remember, man. They've been bullying all these countries, but now these countries are standing up to America.
Acts of reprisal, and the language coming from Iran is very harsh. They've called the killing of Major General Qasem Soleimani in a US drone strike an act of international terrorism.
But they say the Israelites are terrorists, man. You know, because you got a bunch of random people, you know, attacking the so-called Jew, and you want to link everybody that attacks the so-called Jew to the Israelites, man, so you can demonize us and call us terrorists, man. But the U.S. are the major terrorists, man. The so-called white man is the major terrorist. You know, so of course revenge is gonna happen. No, this is only the beginning. And while you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are out here in La La Land just doing whatever you want to do, thinking ain't nothing going on, you gonna be surprised, man. You're gonna be caught in the caught from your blind spot. You know? So, but yeah, this is only the beginning. This is Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Who be not troubled? The ones keeping the laws. Those of us who are deep in this faith, that's keeping the belief in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. See that we be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So this is not the end. This is only the beginning. But these prophecies are happening daily. Every day you turn on your TV, every day you go on social media, you see prophecy. Whether you believe it or not, it's prophecy. And it ain't gonna stop. It's only gonna get worse and worse and worse. It's not gonna get no better. You ever hear that saying, it has to get worse before it gets better? Yeah. So we in the time of it getting worse and worse and worse. And it's only gonna get better when the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are ruling. When Yahushua comes back and saves and gives salvation to you. And when he comes to destroy all these other nations, man.
And they have vowed to take, quote, harsh revenge.
Yeah, you mentioned the revenge that they vowed to take. Are we seeing any tangible steps? Anything that could be a harbinger for things to come?
Not really, but part of what makes this such a dangerous situation is that the Iranians will feel that they have to retaliate. Qasem Soleimani was a national hero, but we cannot know how. And part of the military genius of Qasem Soleimani, however...
America always paints the pictures of these men being terrorists, you know, and they media demons. They were hurting their own people. They were killing their own people. They were savages. But look what the so-called white man is doing in America. He killing you Negroes and Hispanics wholesale. You know? You got your hands up, he's still shooting you. You unarmed, he say you armed so he can kill you. You had a whole class of Nazis joining the police force. And they took a picture holding up the white power symbol, and they fired, and they dismissed the whole class. So they putting it in your face. Who's in these law enforcement agencies? Who's in the law enforcement agencies? The KKK, man. The Nazis. That's why these things are happening, man. So let me get we'll go to the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse I'm gonna start at 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, because these Gentile nations are preparing war against America. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Because all these nations who were once weak, didn't have nuclear warheads, didn't have certain weapons, now they got them. So now they're strong. You know? The U.S. was the only country that had these kind of weapons before. That's why all these nations feared America at one point. But now they don't fear America no more. Now they're strong because they have the same weapons that America got. America can put up, yeah, we have this missile that can do this. It can travel this far. But then you got Russia and China that got missiles that can go just as far and that's just as powerful. You know? And they testing them every day. And America try to tell them they can't have missiles. And they tell America, get the hell out of here. We're going to keep our missiles. And it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Fight the cause thy mighty ones to come down. O Lord, because all these nations going to wind up in one spot, the valley of Jehoshaphat. You know? Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle East, so-called Middle East. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So that's where the Most High is going to judge all these nations. He's going to have them destroy themselves. But in the midst of that, you know, Yahweh Shah going to make his second coming. And they're going to be fighting against each other. And when they see the Lord come back and his great glory, they're going to turn and try to fight the Lord. And they're going to lose miserably, man. Because that power that Yahweh Shah and the angels got and the Most High, that's a power they can't even fathom to come against, man. They don't even know what's going on with that power, man. You know? So it's about to go down, Israel.
But we may judge him morally was that he understood that Iran cannot combat the US head-on. So he became a master of asymmetrical warfare, giving money and weapons to militia groups and proxies across the Middle East. And those groups could now target US embassies and military facilities in places like Iraq, Syria and Lebanon.
Soleimani, as we know, of course, was an Iranian military commander, but he was killed by the United States on Iraqi soil. Does that dynamic complicate matters?
Yes, it does. The U.S. is vying.
And this may be true or may not, but like I said, the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, is orchestrating and controlling all of this.
for influence with Iran here in Iraq. That's one of the main outcomes of the US invasion and occupation of Iraq. And the fact that Qasem Soleimani was killed by a US drone strike on Iraqi soil, that's viewed as a violation of Iraqi sovereignty by many people here, makes things more difficult for those Iraqi leaders and Iraqi politicians who would like to defend the American military presence.
Yeah, because the U.S. don't care, man. The U.S., they feel like whenever they feel like doing something, they don't care who's around. They don't care where they do it at. They do it anyway. That's the same thing that the so-called white man did to the Native American Indians. They came, they befriended them, they made treaties with them, and then what they did, they broke the treaties, man. I'm pretty sure Iraq and the U.S. had a understanding. Iraq probably told the U.S. you can't do certain things over here, and America said, okay, cool. And this right here, the airstrikes that killed the general, the top general of Iran on Iraqi soil, I'm pretty sure the U.S. that wasn't the Iraqis probably told the U.S. they couldn't do that. And the U.S. said, well, we don't care what you say. We're going to do it anyway. You know? So America got a lot to pay for, man. The so-called white man has a lot to pay for, man. This is Revelation 18. I'm going to start at 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power. And the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. It's fallen. Because America is fallen, man. You know, everywhere you look, you got stores closing down in America. The economy is at an all-time low. You know, you see a bunch of people strung out on drugs. You know, you got the homeless. You know, they is at a rapid rate, historical rate. You got killings. You got people looking more stressed out. People looking more in a dead state. There's no life in America no more, man. Why is that? Because the so-called white man is ruling, man. Esau Edom. He's ruling, man. And let me get that real quick. Let's see. This is. Let me see if this is what I want. Slovakia, Israel. Basically, you quote it. It's let me see if that's it. Slovakia, I couldn't find it now, but basically it's saying when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn, but when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. I'm paraphrasing, but you know, that's basically what's going on. People are in the mourning state because the wicked, you know, bear rule. You know? But this is Revelation 18:2 again. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, it's fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Because it's nothing but wickedness in America, man. It's all types of wickedness in America. You know, it's a whole bunch of homosexuality going on. You got bestiality, you got pansexualism. You know, you got all these new terms, which goes back to straight wickedness, man. You can marry a laptop, you can marry a car, you can marry a tree, you can marry the earth. Who comes up with this stuff, man? The so-called white man comes up with this stuff, man. It's nothing but wickedness out here, man. The food is polluted, the air is polluted, the water is polluted. Everything is just polluted, man. And America is finished. America is done, man. For all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, because all these other nations, they came in cahoots with America. You know, they were what's the word? They were drunken of her philosophy, of America's philosophy. You know? And the merchants of the earth will wax rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. So the Most High is telling Israel to come out of the ways of America, because America is about to be destroyed. You know, because you don't want what's coming to America. You don't want that, man. Because ultimately that destruction is not for you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So this is why the Most High is giving you warning, telling you to come out of the ways of America. You know, physically, you maybe can't get out of America, but the Most High in this case is talking spiritually. Stop following the ways of America. Stop being down with America's program. Stop indulging in the things that America indulges in. You know? And it says, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye perceive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. Because so while everybody trying to sweep all that America's done, all the wickedness America has done, you know, how they trying to sweep it all under the rug, the Most High is not sweeping it under the rug. All of America's sins and all of her iniquities have reached unto heaven. It has gotten the attention of the Most High and Yahushua. And it says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. So all the sins and the way America, the so-called white man, has did our people, when it's flipped, we're gonna do it double unto her. We're gonna do it double unto him. And he knows this. He knows destruction, death is coming to him, man. And this is the time that is happening. That's why they want to label us terrorists. That's why he plans to come out and try to lock brothers up, kill brothers. But he's still not gonna stop his destruction. You know? How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. Because America, they have glorified themselves. They are proud. They think nothing can happen to them. You know, they lived wealthy. They had all the gold. They, you know, a brother from GMS, I brought out a video about how America was back in the 60s, 50s, 70s. These so-called white people were living great, man. You know, they had a house. You could buy a house. I believe the brother was saying you put $50 down or something like that, and you can get a house. You know, back in those days, you living in a house, not an apartment. Now, what $50 gonna get you in America, man? In the major states, New York City. Matter of fact, anywhere in the U.S., What is $50 gonna get you, man? You damn sure ain't getting no house. You know, so now in these last days, you see America falling. But back then, they lived deliciously, man. They had no worries. America had no worries. So they thought. And it says, where I'm at. Salakia. How much, verse 7, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow. See, America don't think it's going to be destroyed. The so-called white man don't think his rulership is going to come to an end, which it is. And we're in the time of that. And shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Death and mourning and famine. Yeah. All this is coming to America. Famine, no food, no water. You see in New York and America, period, you know, if the lights go out, people bug out. You know, because all through America, you know, and the top thing that Americans love to do is eat. It's a place to buy food on damn near every corner. Something new opening up. So Americans, they love to eat, and they can always get something to eat. But what happens when they can no longer get something to eat? You know, so the Most High is trying to tell you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans to prepare for the times that we're coming into. And how do you prepare? You keep these laws. You keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You read your Bible. You forget about everything America has taught you. And all the ways you adopted in America, you fight that. And you come back to these laws each and every day. Without ceasing, you pray. You fast. And she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. So the Lord is going to judge her. You know? The Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to judge America, man. Verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, because all of these other countries, they got rich dealing with America. Ultimately, they all conspired together to put you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans in slavery. This is how a lot of these countries got their riches. You know? Shall bewail her and lament for her. So they're going to cry for America. They're going to be sad for America. When they shall see the smoke of her burning. So when America is destroyed, these other nations, these other countries are going to see America destroyed, man. And they're going to lament. They're going to cry for her, man. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So 1 hour is going to take the Most High to destroy America, man. 1 hour, 60 minutes. And America is huge, man. 1 hour? And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise anymore. So it ain't going to be no trading. You know, you're not going to be able to say, okay, we'll give you fruit. You know, the fruit from our country. We can trade it for some money or gold or whatever you trade it for. It ain't gonna be none of that, man. It ain't gonna be no trading. No more. The merchants of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all dyed wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of precious wood and of brass and iron and marble. So there ain't gonna be no trading, no buying, no selling. It ain't gonna be none of that between America and none of these other countries, man. And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. And the fruits that thy soul lusteth after are departed from thee. You ain't even gonna be able to get a fruit from these other countries, man. America ain't gonna be able to get a damn fruit. And it was a story that came out between the U.S. and Mexico. How many people get killed over avocados? Every time you eat an avocado, just think about how many people had to lose their life for that one avocado, man. And all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee. So all the things that America loved, that America got money for, and made a lot of money in America with, it's gonna be no more, man. And thou shalt find them no more at all. Because it ain't gonna be, it's gonna get burnt up, man. The merchants of these things which are made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. Because when they see America, and when they see that they can't do business with America no more, they're gonna be crying because they know they ain't gonna be rich no more. They're not gonna have the means to get no money no more. How they gonna make money? America's destroyed. That was probably their top buyer. Their top seller. You know? And saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed with fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. So all your riches, the money, the gold, the silver, all that stuff is going to depart from you, man. And every shipmaster and all that company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea to the fall. Because that's how they get like the fruits, the vegetables and certain things to America. They use ships, you know, cargo ships, you know, and they come across the waters. They ain't gonna be able to do that no more. Because America gonna be desolate. America is gonna be wasted away. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? So they're gonna be like, damn, what city now can we do business with that's more powerful than the U.S., man? The U.S. is gone. It's nobody else. It's nowhere else that we can really make the same profit from than America. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath revenged you on her. So the Most High is going to destroy America because of his love, the Most High's love for his people. All that America has done to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this is the reason why America is going to destroy. This is the reason why the Most High, Salakia, is going to destroy America. You know? So the Most High is telling you to come out of America spiritually. You know, now you hear people say, you know, when that time comes, we all gonna die. No, we're not all gonna die, man. Some of us are gonna be saved out of that destruction. The elect, which Lord willing, I am a part of that number. You know? So we gotta come out of America, Israel. I'm gonna get one more and I'm gonna close it out.
Here in Iraq.
Now, obviously, Soleimani was powerful and influential among the Iranian ruling class, but what about your average Iranian? Did most people support him? How is the general public responding to his death?
Yeah, he was a revered figure. He apparently came from very humble origins. When he was initially in the military, or emerging as a military leader, he was quite a shadowy figure. But in recent years, he's become a very public figure, something of a celebrity, really